uh, what is that? One file or one in one folder, it would be so crowded with code, and it wouldn't be so easy to read and understand. And to make it easy, we just mm, divide it into small components and then just build with the main one.
Okay, cool, very nice. So how about package.json file? Why do we need it? And did we create it or was it created for us?
Lavina, do you want to answer?
Yeah, this is something that I don't think it's something about dependencies because we talked about that and it's been created for us.
Cool. Okay. So if you notice, like in your React project, you will always have a package.json file, right?
Mhm.
Package log.json file. So both of them are automatically generated when you create the React application. And so package.json, it contains like different fields that contain information about your project. So for example, like your project's name, right? So if you go like to the project that you have created, so if you create, for example, Lavinia's project, your project's name will be here, right? Or for example, the version of your project. Currently, it's like 1.00, right? So like the very first version of your project. Description, etc., etc. So basically, it just stores the like information about your project and its dependencies. Okay. For example, if you work with different libraries, so remember how in DOM projects we work with Bootstrap, right? So in React, you can also work with Bootstrap, but before you use Bootstrap, you have to install it in your project. So it will become one of your dependencies. Okay, here. So it will become one of your dependencies, and here in your dependencies list, you will have Bootstrap and the version of Bootstrap that your project is using, so that you can always check if you need to like check, for example, different versions of Bootstrap have different, for example, can have different syntax or different, you know, like syntactical sugars that you can use. So then you can go and check exactly which version of Bootstrap your project is using, okay? And there's also package log.json, which basically it's also automatically generated by NPM, and it contains the information about like exact version of every package that your project depends on. And you don't want to mess with package log.json, so you don't touch it, you don't manually change anything there, okay? So how about the node modules folder?
No? I thought it's also like a dependencies, but there is a folders what we need. For example, when we install something, and this stuff will all this folder will be in this node modules. I
Good.
think.
Yeah. So package.json and package log.json, they only contain information about, for example, which node, which packages you have and like which version, right? But node modules folder is like it basically contains all the
Library.
it contains the packages and dependencies that your project needs in order to run, right? So if you delete your node modules folder, your project will not be able to run because it depends on them to function effectively. It's also generated, so like the standard node modules package is generated by NPM. And it's just like, think of it as like part of the React ecosystem, okay?
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so how about our public folder? What interesting we have? Like what's interesting there?
Is it only index HTML? Sometimes we can also add this, some pictures.
Uh-huh. I mean, you don't want to store pictures in public folder. Probably you want to store them in SRC. So usually like public folder, it's also automatically generated by React. And the main thing that we care about in the public folder is index.js file, right? Index.html. Okay, so what do we have in index.html? What's interesting there?
Only this main. Oh, yeah. This to render in our browser, we need one div with ID root,
Exactly.
and then this root we will call in we will get in index.js and then just render it.
Nice. Okay, very nice. Good, good. That's very good. All right. So why is React called a single page application? Have you heard this term before?
No.
Is it because of all components? I mean, because of all the components, finally we are gonna call them in app.js, right? And then also the components like are pieces of reusable code, and that's also super useful.
Okay. So when we talk about React, the term that you guys are gonna hear a lot is that React is a single page application. And what does it mean exactly is, so basically all the content that you are going to show to your user is going to be shown on a single page. There's only one page that React is rendering for the user. And what page is that?
Page?
The index.html, right? With the ID root. Yep.
Yeah. Index.html is the only page that your React application is going to render. So all of the content that goes inside this index.html page is generated by a JavaScript code. Okay, so if you inspect any React application, you will see that at the very root of your application, you will have index.html page, the content of which, as you can see, it has a div with ID root. Where is it? Where's the div?
It's down the page.
Oh. Yeah, so it has div with ID root, right? And all of the content that your application is going to show will be inserted inside this div. Does that make sense? So if you look at index.js file, so JS file grabs this root element, the div with ID root, right? Right here, it grabs that element. Then what it does is it renders all the data that we call and that we put inside app.js file. And if you remember, the app.js file is the main file is like a super parent component to all of the components, right? So this app.js is being called inside this div with ID root. And this div with ID root is located inside index.html, right? So because all of the content is going to be generated dynamically with the help of the JavaScript code, right? So the user will have the feeling that they're viewing a different page all the time. But at the end of the day, it will be one single page that is showing all of the content. Does that make sense? That's why React is a single page application. Because, before when like before React, before front end was even like considered as a serious part of development, these pages, for example, like the websites would consist of simple, like several pages, right? So for example, I don't know, like so for example, a page, like a university page would have like homepage, contacts page, and I don't know, about us, and then staff page, right? So like several pages, and all of them would be stored separately on the server.
Okay.
So when you click on the contacts page, you would make a request to the server, and the server would bring this contacts.html page with the CSS file and the JavaScript file, right? So, but that page would be separately stored on the server. Okay, and that was fine for as long as we had really, really basic web pages, right? So all of the data was stored on the backend, all of the like even the files themselves, like the pages themselves, they were stored separately on the server. Okay. So that was back in the, I don't know, like at the end of the 1990s, beginning of 2000s probably. And then there was more demand for like interactivity. There was more demand for more complex web pages, right? And probably one of the factors that really pushed this forward was the fact that computers became more available, internet became more widespread. So like users, now for the users, it wasn't enough just to get some kind of basic information from the internet, right? But they also wanted to, I don't know, to communicate, to interact more with web pages. That's why we don't even call web pages anymore. We call them web applications, right? Because web page is more like something that is like one-sided communication. So there's a web page. So for example, there's a university web page or like flower shop web page, right? But Facebook is not actually, you can't call it like simple like web page. It's a whole application. It's very interactive, right? So basically what happened is there was more demand for better user experience as people became had like more access to the internet. So then the front end part, because back then like backend was the only sort of serious part of development, yeah. But then there was more demand for better user experience, so people started paying more attention to the front end part. So then JavaScript related technologies started evolving, and then with the age of different social networking websites. So there was like, for example, there was before Facebook, there was High Five, there was MySpace. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them. But then Facebook came up with this idea that we can actually, on the backend, we don't have to store pages. We can just store raw data, like JSON data, and then we can retrieve it and show it on like one index.html page. We can show it and we can dynamically insert the data that we need from the backend. So like we're not gonna store different pages on backend anymore. We will just store raw data. That's all we need. Okay. And then on the front end side, we will process that data and we will show it the way that we want to show it. Okay. So this is how Facebook developers came up with React, because Facebook back then was, and probably still is, but it was a huge phenomenon, right? And there were, I don't know, hundreds of millions of users, and it was very difficult for Facebook to keep up with the demand. It was very difficult for them to keep up with like all of the interactivity that was happening, right? So they decided that it's better for us if we just store data on the backend and then retrieve it when we need it and show it the way we need to show it. So yeah, that's how they came up with this whole idea of single page application, and they were the first ones who did it. So even if you like open a Facebook page and do inspect element, at the end of the day, like you will see that it's also a single page application, and all the content that you're seeing on Facebook, even though you think that you have this feeling as a user that you're clicking through different pages, but at the end of the day, it's just one page with a div with ID root. Okay?
Sure. Yep.
All right.
That's very complex.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's
That's
really cool.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. So now that we have reviewed the structure of our React application, okay, so if you look at the app.js, so what is app.js?
It looks like a function.
Yeah, in the nutshell, it is a JavaScript function, right? It is a function that has its return statement. Okay, so what does app.js return? So how do we, what's the language that we use in the return statement?
Oh, you're talking about GSX, right?
Mm-hmm. Cool. So what is GSX?
It's a JavaScript extension, more of a hybrid language. It's like a combination of like HTML with JavaScript.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, that way I can insert JavaScript code into HTML, like basic HTML structure, right? Cool. So let's say I have a div. And this div, like in app.js, usually it has a class name of app. So how come we use class name and not class?
So we don't create confusion.
What kind of confusion?
We can't use class because it's already как бы типа забраковано.
Like a keyword.
It's
занято.
it's reserved by HTML, right?
Yeah.
So there is a risk that because, okay, so this looks like an HTML code, but it's actually not, right? In order to turn this into back into HTML, there will be like some process of, so we will have to like process this code back into normal HTML code. So we don't want class names from React to clash with a class property of HTML element. That's why we're using class names. Cool. Okay, so can I have two separate elements in my return statement?
Right now,
No.
yes.
For
When they are in between the same div, we need a fragment.
We need main div or empty. What is that?
It's called fragment. Like
Yeah, or empty fragment.
Cool. Okay. So
One more, I think, React fragment. Yeah.
Yeah, the way React works is whatever it returns, it can return multiple elements, but they have to be wrapped into like a parent div, or it doesn't have to be div. Yeah, it can be any kind of, like, for example, if you're returning a list of items, your wrapping element can be UL or OL, right? Or if you're working with like a footer element, your wrapping element can be footer component, your wrapping element can be a footer, right? So it doesn't have to be div. It's just the most commonly used one. And another one is React fragment. So what's the difference between React fragment and div?
Hmm. There was a difference indeed.
Yeah.
I think the fragment is more recommended usually.
What it is more what?
It's more recommended to use instead of div.
Why?
That I don't know why to explain.
Because React fragment is a bit more lightweight.
Oh, okay.
Right? So divs are sort of like heavy elements to render, right? And when you don't need to use div, it's better to just wrap everything into React fragment so that it takes less time to render your elements, right? Because your React, like real life React project is going to have hundreds of different components. And where necessary, you can use div. But if it's not necessary, you can just use React fragment. Okay. So how can you create a React fragment?
Oh,
There are
A React.fragment, it was something like that.
yeah. So you can either use just empty opening and closing brackets, right? Which is fine, and it's clear that it's React fragment. Or you can literally type React that fragment. So what's the difference between React fragment and just regular opening and closing brackets?
I have no idea that this React.fragment existed. That's really cool, actually.
So when do you use like regular brackets, and when do you use React fragment?
There was some conditions, but I forgot.
So when you need to use some kind of properties like key or class name or anything like that. So mostly it's a key. You guys probably don't know about the key property yet.
No, how about attributes? I mean, key is an attribute anyway.
Yeah. So whenever you need to use some kind of attribute, then you need to use React fragment. And if you don't, then you just use empty brackets.
Oh, that's really cool. So it's like you have div over there, but okay, that's interesting. That's really cool. They thought of everything.
Yep, they did. That's why they're paid so much.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So what is a component in React?
A component in React, it's a reusable piece of code.
Cool. Okay.
Mostly a web page, like it's made out of more components. Like our navbar can be a component.
Yeah.
The footer can be a component.
Yeah. So when you guys are thinking of like, so let's say you have a div that has, I don't know, some kind of H1, right? And some kind of, I don't know, UL with like a bunch of list items. And then you have let's say a button, right? So when you think of these things, and you are struggling whether this should be like a separate component or not, okay? Ask, is it usable or not? So sort of like when you look at a huge chunk of code and you think, okay, so I feel like this part of code could be a separate function because it's reusable, right? So function has parameters and it can produce different outcome depending on those parameters. So the same way, for example, if we have a button element, that every web page has a bunch of different buttons, right? So it means that this button element can be a separate component of its own to which we can pass props so that a button can have a different name, can have a different style, different purpose, different functions that it's going to trigger. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So whenever you are struggling of like, is this part of my UI should be component or not? Think of it in terms of functions, like, is it going to be reusable? Is it something that I want to separate from general logic to make my code cleaner, to make it more efficient, to make it more readable? Okay, so now you have to think of your UI in like component-based architecture. Okay, cool. Okay. So what if I have, let's say, name here, right? And I'm a narcissist, so I'm going to use my name. And I want to greet myself here. So let's say, welcome to my class, right? And I want to insert this name into my JSX return statement. How do I do that?
You would use curly braces and write the name of your constant.
Cool. So why curly braces?
Because this is the syntax for inserting or injecting JavaScript into GSX language.
Perfect. Okay. So whenever you need to insert any kind of JavaScript code into your JSX, right? You need to make sure that your JSX knows it and wrap it in curly braces. Because if you don't, if you just say name, it has no way of knowing that this is actually part of the JavaScript code, that it's supposed to be dynamic. So it will just print name, right? Cool. Okay, all clear so far?
Yep.
Cool. You guys have learned a lot during this week. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna practice creating different components and calling them inside AppJS. Okay, so what I want you to do now is create a header component. And let's say a paragraph component, and we're gonna call them inside AppJS. So whenever you're creating new components, you want to create a components folder, because otherwise your SRC folder is going to be a mess. Okay, so it's better to keep your components inside the components folder.
Components.gsx?
No, it's a folder, so it doesn't need an extension.
Perfect. And you said the paragraph, right?
Yeah. Nice. Okay. So first, let's deal with a paragraph. So I want this paragraph component to return, I don't know, just some kind of paragraph, simple paragraph with like dummy text.
Oh, okay. So first we should import React. Uh, I think, I'm not sure, from React.
Yep.
And then we are going to create a function component called paragraph, not header. Which is going to return. No, it's gonna have only one paragraph, or I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna do this anyway.
Yeah, just a paragraph with some dummy text.
Okay, and I will just say okay. And in order to be able to have it in the app.js, I'll have to export default my functional component.
So what's the difference between default exports and named exports?
I think default it's gonna be the name paragraph, right? No.
I don't know.
So default, when you're exporting multiple, I don't know, let's say multiple elements from the same file,
Can we do it?
what's that?
Can we do it?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course. So then you cannot use like multiple default exports. Default export means that it's default, right? And also so now if you want to import your paragraph inside app.js, how do you do that? What's the syntax?
We are gonna import paragraph from components paragraph. From components, is this like folder and then file?
Okay, go ahead. Let's import it in app.js. It-
I think it was dot, yeah. Oi.
Paragraph. And it's not okay.
Yep, it's throwing an error right away.
Relative to SRC. Oh, so can I do straight paragraph, right?
Let's try.
No, I can't.
You can't, because your paragraph is located inside a folder, right? Inside components folder.
Then it was true.
But
Maybe without dot, or do we need dot? No, the second one, I mean. Maybe, but I'm not sure.
I think you're right.
Yep, good.
Okay,
But-
now let's try to call this paragraph.
Okay, we're gonna return here. Okay.
Nice. So this is how you import default exports, okay? So if this was a named export, so if you go back to the paragraph and just export function, Now, if you go back to objects, then you need to wrap paragraph into curly braces because it's a named export. No, not there when you're importing it.
Oh, right here, as we do with hooks, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
that's interesting.
And with named exports, you can export multiple things from the same file. And also sometimes it's easier to like debug when you're using a named export. Yeah, but I mean, you have to learn how to do both. Okay, so just be aware of this difference.
Okay.
Okay, nice. So now let's work on the header, and inside header, I want the name of the user to be dynamic. So the header is gonna welcome a student to CTech Bootcamp.
Oh, okay. So let's see. We are gonna import React as well.
By the way, you don't need to import React
No?
when you're dealing with like simple functional components. When you're dealing with class components, definitely you need to import React. And sometimes, like on some occasions, you also need to import it. But if you need to import it, React will tell you,
Oh,
or
okay.
it will just automatically import it. Okay. So I think in newer versions of React, like the React import is sort of happens like on the background or something. Yeah, so you only import it when you like explicitly need to. So for example, if you're using a class component and you do React that so like
Component.
yeah, when like class app extends React that component, in this case you need to import React first, right?
Oh,
But when you're dealing with like basic functional components, you don't need to do import.
okay, that's good to know. Much easier.
Mm-hmm.
We are gonna create a function called header. And if we want, I think we will have to do props here. We'll have to use props if we want to be dynamic.
Cool.
I'm not sure. And we'll do props.name maybe.
Okay, first let's return something.
Oh, we're going to return.
So let's return a header inside which we're gonna have like H3 that has this greeting.
Header. Oh, that's like that. Is header. Header is not closing, right? No, it is.
Closing. Yep. But
No, it's not. It's complaining. Oh, it's head and header. I was confusing that. So we want to return a header.
With H3 inside.
Okay. Should we do?
maybe we will do the empty one and then inside the empty one header.
No, I mean literally it should return a header element, like as an HTML element.
Oh, the head, right?
No, head and header are different.
Head is inside the HTML.
Yeah, head is
What we don't see in our browser.
Yeah, head is this one here, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's there to store like CSS files, like title of the document, etc. But header is a separate tag. Just Google it if you forgot. but you don't need to capitalize it because you're not calling header component inside your header, right? You are, yeah, you're returning a header element, which is not a self-closing element.
Yeah, I don't understand why it's maybe because I need a fragment.
No, just close your header and get rid of the fragment. You don't need it there.
And maybe we will type something inside and then.
So hover over it. What does it complain about? Oh, yeah, that's because your return statement is in curly braces.
Oh, of
Mm.
course. Yeah.
Ah,
Oh, now it's
so
not complaining. Yes. So we want to return a header with an H3 inside. Oh, okay.
For now, let's just say welcome to CTEC. All right, now let's try to call our header component and we'll see what happens.
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing here.
So if you're using default exports, use them everywhere. If you're using named exports, then use them everywhere.
Okay.
So like stick to one.
I
Yeah.
You're importing header.
Is it better to do default all of them or there is no difference?
It depends. There is no like strict rule, but I prefer named exports.
Mm.
It's just more precise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, now let's call it and see. Cool. Mhm.
Plus,
So do we see the header?
we don't see our header.
We need this space, I think. That's why. Maybe space end of letters.
No, that's not the issue.
Oh, okay. Import header. Oh, we didn't export it, or can you open the header folder? Export.
Oh yeah, probably we didn't export, right?
No, we
Oh,
have.
we did export.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So why
Oh.
don't you?
Because of props, we. Huh?
No, that's not the issue.
No.
The issue is not even like a React issue, it's more like JavaScript syntax issue there.
Oh,
Here in this folder, or?
you do this? No.
No, why would you do that? There's no JavaScript there.
Right.
This return, after return, we don't need this sign, and we need the brackets, I think. The normal brackets. Don't we? And then this one. Yeah,
Okay.
but anyway.
Why don't you try to inspect the element and see if the header is even there?
We're inspecting him here.
By the way, you can see the full UI if you just hold on, let me get the control. So if you click here, it will open like full UI
Okay.
and it's easier to inspect. Okay, now you can right click and inspect.
Okay.
Can you open the what was that? This part of this inspect
Okay.
where we can see our div and so on. Where we can see also console.
It's
No.
called dev.
It's right. It's called,
Yeah.
but I don't see it here.
Can you open the DevTools?
Yeah, I mean, here I have the console, but
Is it not opening?
Can't see
not
nothing.
opening. Yeah.
Oh.
Do you maybe have it in a separate window?
Yeah.
Let's see. It's
No.
sources application. I saw console somewhere.
I think your like your DevTools is in a separate window. So if you like have a look at all of the windows that you have open, I don't know how you do it in Windows. In Mac, there's just this one button that you can minimize sort of all of the windows and see if you have if you have it open in a separate window. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't know the button Windows.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, this is DevTools. It's saying right here, DevTools Code Sandbox.
I don't see it. I only see browser.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe here this
So
setting.
if you have DevTools open in a separate window, you just need to click on three dots and make sure that it's shown on the side of your browser, not in a separate window.
Share some. Okay, apps, guys. Yes, unfortunately, it's. Oh, you can see now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Click on the three dots right here. Yeah. So click on dock location and the last one, last option.
Okay.
Dock location and the last option there.
Okay. Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
Sharing has stopped.
Yeah, but sometimes viewing DevTools in a separate window is very helpful. For example, when you have like a really, the task where you need to like see the DevTools immediately in like a larger window and then compare it to like UI or whatever. Sometimes it's good to have them in separate window. Cool. Okay, and now do you think you could open it in the next one? So the next sandbox tab.
The next sandbox tab would be. Oh, the header,
We
right?
open the UI in the tab next to it. Remember?
Oh, we did. Okay, approve. Yep.
This one. Yep, and now we can inspect. Did it open in a separate window again?
No.
It's in sandbox, yeah.
It should inspect here though. This is weird. All right, yeah, whatever. That's why like sandbox is helpful when you need to like do something quickly, but it has its own limitations.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's inspect here. Okay, so here we have the body. Wait, hold on. Where is the Okay,
Mhm.
here's the body.
Yeah.
Div ID root. And here we have div with class name app, which is our app.js, right?
Yeah.
And here is our paragraph. But where is the header?
Header.
Header.
There is no header.
It's not like you cannot see it. It's not even there. Like it's not even being rendered. Even though if we go back to app.js, you see that the header is clearly here, right? So what's the
Yeah.
issue?
Text function.
Is it my return? I see I just have those semicolon and then
Maybe this empty string there. I don't know.
Mhm.
Let's remove it. This string, this empty string after return.
It's, you mean the semicolon?
No, just empty string this between header and the return.
oh, the empty space. Mhm.
Oh yeah, space, sorry.
Okay, cool.
Let's try it again. No.
No.
Let's mm-mm.
Also,
Create
do you
other.
see that line 3, 4, 5 are kind of grayish in comparison to line 2?
Right.
Yeah, what does it tell you?
Oh, it doesn't render it. It doesn't work.
Yeah, like JavaScript,
After return.
yeah, JavaScript is not even reading those lines.
Yeah.
You need a
It means that we can't use header.
No, that's not the issue.
Okay.
It's a very simple JavaScript issue, but something that you guys
Really?
should, yeah, something that you guys should know.
Just a second. Header.
No, I can't. I mean, maybe we. I mean, what's the difference between paragraph?
React? No,
And header?
no. Mhm. Can you open one more time this paragraph?
Yeah.
Yes. Uh, Maybe we will do in one line with return.
You
That's
can
why. Can you do it in one line after return?
But I don't think it has anything to do because here we have like a header and I can, of course I can. How do we save in codes?
Ah, yeah. Return.
I can catch on it.
Okay, do you guys want a hint?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is, when you have a return statement, yeah,
Mhm.
so the return statement reads only whatever you're trying to return, either on the same line
Mhm.
or, so like return something, right? So then it will return this. It will know that there is something that is supposed to be returned. If there is nothing on this line, it will not return anything because it doesn't see the code on the next line.
Mm.
So here you have two options. You can either put your opening bracket, like opening element, next to return statement, which is fine. Yeah. So that way your return statement knows that, okay, we have header element, and now we need to render everything that is inside this header. So it will look for this line and then like end of header. Okay? Or if you want, if you have like a bunch of return statements, so then you need to, you see how the color is changing immediately. Then you need to open parentheses. That way your return statement knows that somewhere down there, there is something to return. Okay,
Oh.
same in script functions.
Okay.
Exactly same principle in JavaScript functions.
Really?
Yeah.
I just learned, that's why I
So yeah, because you don't notice it because in JavaScript you usually like have a simple return statement on the same line, but make sure that you don't forget about it because like such a simple thing can really make you get stuck on like
simple stuff.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right, let's continue. So now we want to introduce a name that we have in app.js. So we want to pass that name to header.
So should we create in the header, should we create an attribute called name?
Okay, cool.
And it's gonna be equal to name,
Mhm.
but I think in the header,
So before we go there, so now my question is, what does, okay, so what is props? How can you explain props to me? Hmm?
props, it stands for property, but it's an object in React
Mhm.
that helps us to transfer the information from the properties basically from parent to child. Like
Mhm.
app.js would be our parent, and then in this case, and then header is the child.
Cool. Okay. So inside the header, if you console log props, how is it gonna look like now?
I think we
It will
can
not render it, or
Just console log props.
we will see the object with name and then with key name, and then inside the key we will see the value.
Perfect. Cool.
where's my console?
I think they have their own console. If
They
you, yeah, hold on, let me find it.
So cool.
1 second. I think it's down here if you like try to drag this, or maybe here. No, here, this one is a terminal. So they used to have,
Preview console, yep.
yeah. There you go.
Yep.
So it's an object with a name property and asylum, right? So
Yeah.
how does our props know that the key should be name and the value should be asylum? Where's that coming from?
From the app.
Hmm?
Yeah, we send it. This
Mhm.
name, key name, we just type it as a name, and then Asela we just took from above.
Nice, good, okay. So now here, when I say welcome to Saytech, and let's say I want to insert the name, how do I do that?
I think we have to props and then dot name.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Because it's it's an object, that's why.
Exactly. Cool. Now, have you guys talked about destructuring in
Yes.
real?
Yeah,
Cool. So how do I destructure it?
we need
Uh,
to props. Instead of props inside the as a parameter, just make a curly brackets and brackets, and then just type name. And I think we have to write something on it. Yeah.
Just name.
then we have an error.
Console log, we have to remove it, console log.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. Nice. Cool. Okay. So let's say throughout my application, I have different styles for my header. So like somewhere I want my header to be blue, somewhere I want it to be black. So like the header background will depend on where I'm calling it from.
Interesting. I think we need to just type inside when we call it, for example, in app.js, it means that we can just type their near name, background color, or styles. I'm not sure about it, but I think it was styles or background.
Okay,
Mm,
go ahead.
Yes. Background equal.
and then just type a
Blue.
yeah. But I'm not sure.
Can I just go here?
Mm. Yeah, we can do it also. But I think it doesn't work, yeah. It means that do we need to type first of all style and then
Like style and then background.
yeah, and equal in curly brackets and then background equal blue.
Okay, so style, and then
I think it should be in yeah. Yeah.
lowercase, and then equal.
Oh yeah, let's do it. I think the same as the name, equal
Uh,
and then curly brackets.
but what am I doing with background?
Nothing. We just leave it here.
Should I connect it with like
Yeah,
this?
styles and no, styles equal, but I'm not sure. And then equal
Mm-hmm.
this time, yeah, and then curly brackets
But why can't it?
stuff. Can we do
And then what am I gonna include in the curly?
after blue?
Uh-huh. Should I put equal in between?
Maybe yeah, or equal or two dots.
Mm-mm.
No. Maybe styles.
In our app, when we had to do in class the homework, we did it in styles CSS, but I know we can do it here too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then we need just class name.
How will you do that?
Oh, maybe we should type the background color, not the background.
Background color with C capital, right? Like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. And then maybe there should be or two dots or equal. Two dots. Let's try it.
Okay, let's
No.
try.
Okay.
But do we need the curly braces?
Yeah, I think then we can just remove all the styles and then I will check it. Mm,
So I have a question.
Hmm.
On line 10, the header, is it an element or is it a component?
Header is a component.
Mhm. And can you do inline style on a component?
No,
No, right?
no, yeah. We
Because it's
can't.
not an HTML element, so you cannot
Yeah.
implement inline styling on an element, on a component. So
Mhm.
here we just want to pass the information that the background color for this header should be, let's say, black. Or let's say yellow. When we call the header from app.js, we want the background color to be yellow.
But can I put it here? Const color equal blue, and then no, I
It
can't.
doesn't have to be like a variable, you can just pass it. You don't need to store it in a variable, you can just pass color blue.
So this means that I go to header, right? Component. No,
So how does header component know what color it is supposed to be?
Mm. Can we create here an attribute? No, we can't. Hmm.
I mean, you will have to eventually, but first we need to make sure that the header component knows, because the color, the background color is going to be dynamic.
Mm.
So in app.js, we need to tell to the header that the background color is supposed to be yellow or blue or whatever.
Let me just write background. No, we can't. Background background color equal blue.
Okay.
And I assume it's camel case,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna be
Mhm.
like this.
Yeah, but please don't put space in between, because since it's a sort of like an attribute, you don't need to put space in between those. Cool. Okay. So how do we extract this information in header now?
Can we use
Now we can just use the styles, yeah? Don't we?
Okay, but do we have that color anywhere in the header now?
Oh, we don't have it
Oh,
yet.
we can just put mm, next uh, as a parameter first of all, and then
Cool.
in header we
So we
have
need to structure it, make sure that we destructure it.
Do we write background color?
background color. Yeah, I think we have to write the same thing that we wrote in app.js,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
and then inside the header. Now I think we have to create styles or just background. I'm not sure about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm not sure either.
Yeah, you can Google inline style in React to check your syntax.
Okay.
Oh, style equal two curly brackets and then background color. Okay.
Mm-hmm. What's Bing? Is it like Google for Microsoft?
Yes, it's is their AI.
Mm, You have to install it?
No, I'm using Microsoft Edge, and
Ah,
yeah,
cool.
and so it's just
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
okay. Let's wait a second. How did you say, Zarina?
Style, instead of background color, we need to type style equal.
Curly braces,
Uh,
right?
yeah,
And I said blue.
one more curly brackets, and then we have to type background color as in CSS. I think so. Background color. And then equal. Oh no, not an equal. Oh, okay. Do
So
we need to type it? Yeah.
right here, we already set it as blue.
Okay.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think we will know how to do this.
Yep. So if you go back to header. So why is it like double curly brace there?
It means that now we can use only one of them. I thought we will just type background and then give the value. I think we don't need these yellow ones.
Okay, you can try remove them.
I think we do.
Oh, okay. No.
So why is it double curly brace? So the reason for it is when you're using inline style property in React, it is accepting sort of like an object. So the style property is receiving some kind of object inside which you would set, for example, background color and then column and then the color itself, right? But because you're using ES6, you don't have to do background color, background color because it's an object. So if object key and value have the same name, then you can just use background color, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Good. How are you feeling?
Good.
Yeah.
I think you make us think. So I think we learn like this.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
the whole point, right?
Yeah.
I really don't
Well,
like the format when, when you're just talking and giving information and people are just listening, because that doesn't make them think. And
Yeah,
it,
that's true.
yeah, it doesn't leave too much room for like actually doing something because the answers are sort of given to you, right? That's why I give you like 5 minutes, sometimes more, to really brainstorm it. So you can learn from your own mistakes. That's why I don't point out your mistakes right away. I want you to suffer through those mistakes so that you don't make them again.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool.
I like it. Because when we on our classes, we just watch it and that's it. And then I have to just remember it how it was, and then that's it. I'm not
Yeah.
think about it why we do that. And
Uh-huh. Yeah, because I have more freedom because it's an extra class, so we can do whatever, right? We can just chill and talk for 3 hours and it's still good.
yeah,
But of course, we want to um, make like most use of this time, but I have more freedom because it's an extra class, so I'm not like bound with the topics that we need to cover, and then we also need to finish the project, blah blah blah. So there's no like room for for much of like conversation, I guess. So it's not like your instructors don't want to do that, it's because they are really tied by the topics that they need to cover. Yeah. And because my class is extra class, so we can give ourselves a little bit, more time to like really brainstorm it and try to build it. Like I can give you more time to, build something on your own. So so you can learn from your own mistakes. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's take a break then. Let's do one break today, one 15-minute break. Okay.
Yep.
And then we can come back and do a bit more practice with props, and maybe with styles as well. Let me see what I have here. Have you guys tried passing functions with props?
No, but we can.
Wait, didn't you do the counter project?
We did? But
Yeah, but we didn't do props. We did it in, right, Zemina? We
in
did
in
app.
one app. Yeah.
Ah, okay, cool. So I know what we will do then. But I'm not gonna tell you because I like intriguing. All right, cool. Cool. So we'll see you guys in 15.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Are you guys back with me?
I am here.
Me too.
Oh. So when you guys are sharing your screen, and there's like a break time, it's better to stop sharing just for, for safety reasons, because it happened to me like a couple of times when, in like regular classes, I'm usually the one who shares the screen, right? So I had like a couple of instances when I forgot that I was sharing the screen and then started messaging once with my husband, which was really embarrassing because, it's very personal. Once with another instructor, and we were discussing like a plan for like each student, which was also not great. Yeah, so this kind of stuff, it happens. Like you think that you will remember that you're sharing your screen, but it's so easy to forget if you're distracted. So yeah, I was hoping that Lavinia will start texting with her boyfriend.
No, he is actually here, and I verbally text him.
Okay, so you do admit it, right? I mean, me and my husband, we text each other, like, even if we're in separate rooms, we can text.
Yeah, I do. I did this last night with him because here it's like late in the night when we have classes in the night. Not I'm dramatic right now, but like 10 o'clock, 11 p.m. And he was washing dishes and I did my phone and I called him on WhatsApp and yeah, so
Yeah.
Just talk to each
why
other.
not use this technology if we have it? Let's use it.
I do the same because so right now my husband is with our daughter, and if I go out, she will just stick to me and she will not let me go, and she will be very upset that I will leave her, and to avoid this kind of situation, I just, text my husband or call him when I need to say something. Just, mother of the year, avoid.
Oh,
Yeah. What can you do? I mean,
Yeah.
she doesn't understand that I'm busy and it's work. So she gets really upset when I leave her, and she gets upset when like I'm in the like office room and working, and she comes to me and she wants a hug. And then, of course, like I always give her a hug, but I also have to quickly give her back to like my husband because I can't afford to be distracted.
Yeah.
Especially when you're working on something and you need your full concentration and you think, oh, 5 minutes is nothing, but it actually takes you like another 15 minutes to immerse yourself back into the task, back into the code. So, distractions are not so great.
Yeah.
All right. So that was a nice distraction. Now let's go back to our code. Okay. So you guys yesterday or a couple of days before, you worked on a counter project, right? And you built it only in app.js,
right.
right? So now let's work on like decomposition of this project. So we're gonna break it down into components, and we're gonna pass all of the functions and everything to different components. Okay, so we can just quickly build it from scratch here. So all we need is, did you guys learn about state?
Yeah, use state.
We,
Uh-huh.
yeah, we can just use state. Yeah, so far.
Okay, so you haven't learned about any hooks and stuff like that?
No.
Cool. Okay. So now let's convert our app.js into a class component then, because we need a state there.
Okay. Okay. So we are going to do a class component. Okay. We're gonna write y. Okay. Class, I think.
Yeah, and then the name of the class.
Do we do app?
Yeah,
Extends
yep.
React component.
Not S. Instead of S, the second S.
Extend. Oh, yep.
Yeah, X. Yeah. I don't know, extends or extend. Oh, okay.
No question. In this situation, because we have class, we need to import React, right?
I think so. Try not to import it and see if it will throw an error.
Oh, okay.
What about the component? We need component to import it.
So you see now it's throwing you an error that React is
Mhm.
not. So let's import React.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. Doesn't want to write.
Mhm.
What's that?
It's just giving me issues writing.
Really?
Let's close this console.
Okay. Import. Oh yeah. We have then we need
Okay, now let's see if that error is gone. Let's open the preview.
right here. Open that
Just
phone. Oh,
click on-
Running. Components for building.
Now it's just complaining that you're not returning anything and you're not exporting your app. So it's fine.
and I think we need a constructor.
Mhm.
We also need a super.
So constructor is a function.
Yes, it is a function indeed.
Uh-huh.
And then we need a state.
Mhm.
I think we need to write this dot state.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be like this.
Cool.
Perfect. Should I no, to do export class app or no?
I think it was counter or something like that.
So app.js, if you want to export app.js, it should be a default export in this case, because that's how it's imported in index.js. So,
Oh, is that okay? No, it's good. It's good. Now we need a counter, right?
Yeah.
And I suppose we are gonna set our counter to 0 initially, right?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So what else we have in the class component?
We need our render method
Mm-hmm.
that is going to return something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And return, it's the same in React like this, right? All the time with
So let's return a div for now. Cool. Now all your errors should be gone. All right, cool. So what I want you to do is I want you to create a separate button component. Well, no, let's show the counter on the screen. Value of counter.
that would be this dot state to counter.
Exactly. Have you guys learned about destructuring the state?
I don't think so, but
Okay, let's stick with this dot state dot counter then.
If I destructure the state, can I do it right here? Maybe.
Yeah, this is where you destructure it.
counter.
So state is an object, so you destructure it just like you would an object.
Const counter,
Mhm.
then equal state, and then I'll just have to do this here.
This that state, no.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be
Sure.
this that counter, just counter. Just-
Above. No, we have to here write just a counter, and then when we initialize it, then this dot state.
Exactly.
Wait. So I have this dot state on line 7, then I destructure our
14. On the line 14, we need to this dot state, and in this curly brackets, on line 17, it should be just counter.
Cool. Let's wrap the counter into like H1.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Have you guys done any styling when you were doing the counter project?
Not so, but we did it with style CSS a little bit, just borders, and that's it.
Okay, cool. Cool. Let's not spend time on it then. All right. Now what I want you to do is explain to me how we are going to update the state when we increment it or decrement it.
We are going to use the set state method.
So what does set state do?
Set state, it's updating the state.
Okay, anything else?
Probably yes, but we are not aware of it.
So first of all, when we need to update the state in React, we should always do it with the help of the set state function. You can never update the state directly. You should always use set state in order to update any kind of state value, okay? So set state is a method that was developed for you by React, and it actually does two things. First, it updates the state. Second, it triggers the render method. So on line 13, the render method, so that whenever the state is updated, it's gonna also update the UI. Because UI doesn't know that the state is changing. right? So the render method needs to be triggered in order to update the UI and show the new value of the counter. So set state does two things. First, it updates the state. Second, it triggers the render method. Okay? Cool. Okay, so let's create a function to increment the state. So let's call it increment.
Oh, okay, I think we write all our functions here. And
Inside the constructor?
no, outside the constructor, in between constructor and render. Thank
Exactly.
you for pointing that. Okay. And it's gonna look like a method. Since we are in and we are gonna do this dot state, right? No.
State.
That's state. Was
Counter,
it state state or set state?
set state.
Mhm. This that set state, right? Mhm.
State, and then this is a method.
Mhm.
And then
So what does set state accept as a parameter?
an object.
An object, right?
And
So
then
left-hand side of the object is what?
it's the key.
Yeah, the one that we want to update, which is a counter, right? And the right-hand side?
Uh,
Well,
it's gonna be this dot set state plus one, right?
mm,
No.
counter on. Oh, we just yeah, we created this counter. Does it mean that we can use this counter and just plus plus or not?
Yeah, but this that state that counter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus plus, right?
Mhm.
Oh,
Okay, let's create decrement and reset functions as well.
we'll do the same thing for decrement. This dot set state. Accepting object. This dot state dot counter minus minus.
Mhm.
I think I should I have commas in between my methods? No, right? Or
No.
is okay. And then reset. Is that set state? And then counter.
Zero.
Should we, yeah, set it just, yeah. 0.
Cool. Okay. Now we are going to create a button component separately. It's going to be a separate component.
So we are going in the components.
Mhm. Okay.
And now we are gonna create a functional component, right? Or no?
Yep.
Function button. Okay. Return state. And I think we are gonna use props here, probably.
So before that, let's return a button.
The right increment.
No, no need. Just
Stop.
button. Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay, now let's call it. Oh, you don't need to wrap it. We're just returning a button, so it's already one element.
I think the sandbox, it's always like showing you all the errors, and it takes like a second until it's blank, and I'm just like so distracted. Like it's just like turning me off. I'm like, what am I mistaking? What did I write wrong right now?
Yeah, I understand that. So now let's import it in app.js. So how many buttons do we need?
We need 3 buttons.
Mm-hmm. It means that we're gonna call our button component 3 times, right?
Yeah.
So we have our counter here. One. Maybe I should do this. Oh,
Cool, let's see what we have.
error. Button is not defined.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing. That's fine.
This button is not defined.
Mhm.
Because it's empty. Am I right?
The what?
Empty. Oh, okay, 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 okay. No. Oh, we have to export it and then import it.
Since we're using named import here, let's just do named imports.
Sure. I will start here and then modify.
Oh, no worries. Since you deleted the others, it's okay. Let's just import button.
Yep.
Nice. Cool. So which parts of the button are supposed to be dynamic?
Names.
Yep, exactly. So let's make sure the name of the button is dynamic.
So we need to give each button name
Mm-hmm.
here in render. Yep.
Increment.
Do we need to use lowercase or uppercase?
I mean, it depends on how you want to show the button name. If you want it all.
Okay.
Okay. Increment is not defined.
Yep.
Because we need to catch in button. Yeah, here.
as a parameter.
Yeah, but right now your error is coming from app.js, so let's solve that one first.
Ah, okay.
When something is not defined, what does it mean?
It doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't created it.
So why does it think that increment doesn't exist?
Oh, we didn't create this function or variable.
First of all, what is increment?
Increment, its name.
Which is a string, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I should have it.
Okay.
So right now it says it's not defined because it's looking for increment variable in your code, which you don't
But
have.
we don't. Yeah.
Curly braces means that you're inserting some kind of JavaScript code, and right now it thinks that there is an increment variable that it needs to look for, and it doesn't find it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do we fix it?
As a string, we need to name equal string increment
Uh-huh.
instead of curly bracket or
Mhm. Yeah. It's just a string.
yeah. But still,
Cool.
we didn't pass.
Okay, so now the errors are gone. So you are passing the name of the button. What's the next step?
We need to get this.
Yep.
field.
Mm-hmm.
We can do with props or what was that degree? Use the name.
The structure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. How do you do it?
No, I was just listening to you.
Ah, okay. We can use here as a parameter as a destructure.
Here?
Yeah, name,
Mhm.
and then pass it. I paste it up
Oh,
inside the button.
Asel.
Yeah, inside.
Oh, okay, let's do it here. And the right name here. There we go.
You
There you go. Cool. Okay. So now I also want the colors to be different. Each button color should be different. For example, reset should be red.
You need to do the same thing that with that. Yeah.
So I think here. We're gonna
Background color. Was it the yeah?
background color. You said you said the
And
red for reset, but what should we use for
green, I think.
I mean, whatever you want, whatever.
Oh. Let's yeah.
Okay, let's remember the syntax of inline styling now.
Here and then oops. I think it was
Style, then equal to curly brackets, and then background color.
Hi guys.
oh hi,
Sorry, I'm so late.
we missed you.
Yeah, me too. Sorry. I had kids event, but at least for half an hour I'm happy to be here.
I don't know if we are happy that you're here. Not sure.
Okay.
I'm
We
leaving.
we're having like a girls' night today, right? Girls.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I can leave it now.
Okay.
Good. Nice. Very nice. Okay. So now, what I want you to do is I want you to pass the function that your button is supposed to call when it's clicked. So all of those functions, they're called on click, right? So now you just need to pass the appropriate.
No.
Yeah.
But then here, should I write, I don't know,
So we already have the function, yeah.
should I write something like handle click?
Yeah.
Let's
You can try.
click, and in this case, button style equal to on click, right?
Maybe on click and then equal handle click.
Backwards.
Yeah, don't confuse the event with the function.
And then this would be in curly braces, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then here, Control B.
So it says increment is not defined. Although we know that we have increment function, right? So something wrong with syntax here.
Yes, definitely. It's the same thing, but we did with the name, right?
Maybe, yeah. But I'm not sure. Let's try.
We might have done something wrong here.
I mean, the
Yeah,
error is clearly coming from Obj.js, right? So let's fix that one first.
Yeah, do we need to put that on click here in the component or in HTML file? I don't know. So yeah, we don't have HTML file, right? It's everything's
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
It's React, yeah. Oh my
First,
goodness,
let's fix the error, the one that says that increment is not defined.
Let's try the same thing we did with the name as a string. but it's not a string, yeah.
Yeah, it's a function.
Do we need to call it?
No.
No, because
No.
if we call it here,
Ah,
it's
yeah.
full right away. We just need to call it when we click.
Mhm.
So it has to be not just increment, but that increment. Remember, increment is a property of this class. So it becomes like a method of this class, right?
Mm,
Mhm.
when you don't know what to do, just type this.
Yeah, this class component, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Now let's go back to our button.js and check when we need to call these functions.
On click.
First of all, on-click event should be camel case as well, just like with class name and everything else.
Mhm.
Okay. Does everything look good to you guys?
Mm, we need call it. Yeah. No.
Okay, why don't we try and click and see if anything will happen.
Nothing happens.
Mhm.
On click.
Do we need
No click.
do we need here? No, we don't need anything.
No. Maybe inside the on click and then handle click. They will. You can call it there.
Would you like me to put parentheses here to call the
Yeah.
function?
Mhm. That's true. No.
It's not a function.
Mm, let's go to app.js. I think it's related to app.js.
Wait a second. So I'm going to app.js and
Yeah. Mm, mm, okay. Mm, uh, I think we need to inside in button component as a parameter on click. Maybe we need to add on click, not a handle. But, it doesn't matter, or it matters.
Good
Can you
question.
open button component? Because we created this name, background,
we
color,
need a
and
handle.
yeah, not the handle.
On oh, handle click equal with the increment function, right?
No, no, no. Can you just try and then maybe we will try another thing.
If I can what? I cannot hear you very well.
Oh, sorry. So, can you go to button component
Yes.
and then instead of handle click, just type on click
In
as
here.
we have in app.js? No, no, no. Yeah, there too also. Yeah.
So you want me to start here to write on click?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's try.
But okay, yes.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter.
Unitary properties of undefined reading set state.
That's good.
Okay, let's see.
Can you go up? Up? Yeah.
Can you just do this does state that counter +1 and -1? And try again? No?
Do I have like a is that state
I think maybe there is some kind of
typo?
Hmm?
A typo error or something?
No, probably we have some kind of syntactical issue there. Because I haven't worked with class components in a while, so I may be like remembering it wrong. Can you
I
Google?
think we need to have inside the instructor, it looks like empty. No, we have it, right? This state, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
not empty, yeah.
Could you Google set state in React?
Yeah, classes?
Sure.
Do you want this one?
Let's just use. Could you keep scrolling?
In this increment, decrement, it's a function, but we didn't type it as a function. Maybe that's why
Yeah.
we need to add just a name function or as do it as a arrow function.
What do you mean?
I mean, here we just typed a reset and then no, not this one. Above, yeah, here.
Oh, I think you need to use arrow functions instead of Can
Yeah.
you try the arrow function?
We need to remove this brackets and
There
then
is a problem with this in this kind of function, so.
Wait.
I will just send you.
Yeah, this is yeah, like this.
No.
No?
Like this.
No parentheses after
Yeah.
the equal. Also,
So equal
change
and
the
then that.
place.
no, reset equal.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, no.
Let's
I
try.
think that was it. Yes.
So the issue here is when we are creating methods in React, we need to use arrow functions because arrow functions don't have their own this. So in this case, when we use this set state, it will look for set state in the like class, I think. But if we use regular function syntax, then it will try to find set state inside this of the current function. Something like this. I'm confused myself, but yeah, you need just remember that you need to use
Arrow function.
arrow functions. Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
Thank
Okay,
you.
nice. So now let's do one step more. So is it everything clear so far?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Just one thing that you guys can stumble upon is when you're passing function, make sure that you don't sort of, how can I say this? So when you're passing, like if you scroll down, don't confuse the onClick function with the onClick method, right?
Mhm.
Like you want to name it something like handle click. So in this case, when you call onClick in the button, you wanna do on click equals to like handle click, because it can be confusing. Like your brain will think that this is on click event when in fact it's a function. Yeah. So just make sure that you're passing it correctly. Okay, because over there you were trying to destructure it as handle click, or even though handle click property doesn't even exist on props.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just make sure that when you're passing a function, you're very cautious about it.
Method, we use method here, yeah? Inside the button
Yeah.
component. Okay.
Not only inside the button component, but on the button element.
So here, for example, on line number 3, on my first on click, can I write handle click equal
No.
on? No.
No,
We need
because
to
in
use
this
handle
case,
click.
on click on the left-hand side is the event, and on the right-hand side, you want to call the function. So left-hand side cannot be handle click because there is no method that is called handle click. There is no, not method, there is no event.
But
The
then I
on
can
click.
write here handle click, right?
Yeah, but then you will have to fix everything.
And then when I come in app.js, I have to write here and handle click, right?
Everywhere. Yeah.
Okay, good. Now it's clear, more clear.
Cool. Okay. Now let's take it one step further, and I want you guys to so if your counter is 0 and above, so like positive number, then I want the color to be blue. If it's less than 0, I want it to be red. So the color of your counter.
Now, where do we write this conditional? In button JSX or in app.js?
I think it should be in button component. Or no.
So the color of your counter, where are you rendering the counter?
App.js?
In app.js, yep.
Yeah, where is your counter? In your code, where is it?
We have counter on line 9, but we are rendering in our starting with line 24.
No, the counter, the 0, the number itself.
Ah, okay, it's in the constructor.
Right here in the state.
Yeah, but where are you rendering it on the UI? Which line of code exactly is rendering it on the UI?
Oh, right here in our
25?
H1.
Oh no,
20.
yeah, 28.
Okay. So the color of this H1, the color should be blue if the counter is a positive number, and red if the counter is negative.
So if
Try
our
to-
we want it to be blue.
Color, we can type write color and then equal.
Should I do this background red?
Yeah. But we can use just color.
Yeah, it should be color, not background color. First, just try to give it any color. Yeah, try to give any color to H1.
Oh, I will just go in here to give it a color.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I will do this. Control. Control. But why it should be color?
Because we want to change the color, not the background color.
Oh. Okay, color red, but
now we don't have this.
Should be, I think, style equal to this color.
okay, so should we do
Yeah, style equal now. So codes and color equal to red inside the red.
The
Yeah,
curly
you
blue
should.
brackets. That's
Oh,
this
yeah. Oh, yeah, maybe curly brackets. Yeah.
and then color 2 dots.
Color.
I think we don't need this. Oh, okay.
no,
Mhm.
because if we don't write the if we
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
write it as a string, it's gonna be a very
Nice. Okay, cool. So you guys are still confusing inline styling with how we were passing props on line 39, right? There is a difference. Yeah, don't confuse those two. Okay, cool. So now this color, value of this color should be conditional. So if the counter is less than 0, it's supposed to be red. If it's 0 or above, it's supposed to be blue.
We can use this whole style color. Oh.
I am wondering if it's gonna work like this. Oh. Blue, which I don't think it's gonna work.
Blue. The blue.
I think you need to write the counter inside the H1 opening tag, not in between.
Wait. You think I need to write a counter inside the H1? How?
Yeah, because it's a styling, right? So instead of style, now, yeah, we need to have that condition.
Let's try this one and then, because we have already. No. So now, this counter is a number.
Right.
To change this color. Don't we need to do this stuff outside the brackets? I mean, counter? No.
So
I thought that maybe we will close this counter and then do all the stuff outside, but it doesn't work. Yeah, it will not work. Azamat was doing something like that
yes.
when we edit some condition and then.
No, this condition should be added in the style, I think, not in the as a instead of
Okay.
this counter, not in that H1 opening tag inside the H1. Where is your style? Yeah, here.
And then should we write 0 or should we write one more time counter?
Yes, I think yes. It is counter,
And
then if it's
everything should be wrapped up in curly braces, right?
yeah, because this is JavaScript. Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Can you try to
Leave
write
this
that?
stuff.
Yeah, you started writing that counter in between, but yeah, I think it should be somewhere here.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna write like this. counter smaller than 0.
Oh, no. It's gonna be inside the style, not outside the style, right? Because we need to assign the value to the style. So so we can delete this. So we need to write inside that style, that curly brace. Oops, H1. I think the value should be assigned to style, so we have to write inside these curly braces after style equal.
After style, then I
Yeah.
should open another round of curly braces, right?
Yeah, let's try it.
And say
The count. Yeah, this
Mhm.
one. No. Um,
And the sock?
then color them. Well,
Nope.
yeah, something like this, but it's
Can
not
you
working, right?
blue one making this or it doesn't work?
If I can
So yeah, can you put it in quote?
Yeah.
Oh yes, you're right about that.
Okay, but still
Maybe
not
we'll
working.
remove this purple brackets.
Yeah, maybe we need another
Each
purple.
color?
Yeah, maybe we need to put more brackets outside the counter. I don't know.
Outside the counter, like here.
Let's first of all remove it and then
Additional.
see. Okay. Good.
Okay, I'm gonna add
One more and then this blue ones.
Okay, it looks
Yeah,
like
color.
too much.
Looks
Too
like the
much.
color. Oh, maybe.
should I remove?
Let's remove this one too. No.
No more.
Oh, cool.
Yes. Okay. Need to
Let's
command now.
yeah.
Oh yeah, this works. Oh,
Style and then okay.
Thank you guys.
Good. Now let's fix it a little bit. So nice job, guys. Let me get the control. Okay, so this works. Yeah, definitely. You can improve it. You can say there's two options here.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I want to keep let's just comment this out because I want to keep it so you guys can have a reference. Oh. Could you comment out this line for us?
Control, I guess no. Control.
Yeah, control /.
Okay, control. We're gonna do this.
No, it doesn't. So it has to do like control / or command /. But I think in your case it's control
Control, yep.
and /.
Not working.
Let's create one more.
Interesting. All right, then we'll have to get rid of it then. Okay, so style, right? Up, and then color, right? So if the state, so if counter up is less than 0, then we want we want red. Else, what was it, blue?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is even shorter. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So that's one way to do it. Another way would be to create a variable here equals to, and then same here. Could you cut this for us, please? And paste it here. Mhm. And then just color. Oh, yep.
This is nice too.
Mm-hmm. I think this way it's more readable.
Yeah.
All right.
Why is only color, not color? Column,
Mm-hmm.
color.
Because in ES6, if you have an object that has a key and
Oh,
property,
okay.
you can just
Mm.
use.
Oh, okay. That's
So
interesting.
JavaScript knows that it has to be color, column color.
Mhm,
It's just ES6 syntactical sugar.
mhm.
It has
Cool.
so much syntactical sugar. It does so much for us, and
But-
it's hard.
It's too much sugars, right? Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Yep, that's it. So next week, let's see. Hold on, let me see what you guys are doing next week.
Oops, probably. I think I have it somewhere.
So 1 second. You have voting system, tab, to-do list, encounter. Okay. So next week, probably we're gonna do something React related. Okay. And then the week after, I'll try to prepare something. So we were discussing with the girls that maybe you wanna, during extra classes, sometimes you wanna brush up on algorithm skills.
Yeah, that would be good too, yeah.
So girls were suggesting to go over some of the data structure stuff, like
That
link
will
it.
be definitely helpful. Yeah, I agree with girls.
Okay. So this is something that I will need extra preparation for. So probably we can do that, but not next weekend. And maybe the weekend after I will try. Because I need to dig up some really nice examples and materials, and that will require some time. And I attend like courses every other weekend. So usually when I attend courses, my schedule is a little crazy because I have courses from morning until like 5. And then I come home and I join the class right away. So there's not much room for me to prepare. But so that's gonna be like next weekend, but maybe the weekend after I can try to come up with something, and maybe we can solve some lead code algorithm questions and just theoretically just go over some of the data structures. Yeah. Just to recap, because I know that your schedule is packed, so sometimes it's hard to keep up with all the material. So sometimes extra information, like, it can be helpful. Yeah. So probably next week we're gonna do something like React related, and then the week after we can try to, like, I'll try to prepare something related to data structures. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's have a great week,
Yeah,
everyone.
the same. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a nice weekend too. Yeah.
Thank you. See you next week, guys. Good job, everyone.
Bye. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.